Black Americans are remembering. And remembering does not involve books. It's not something that you learned in school. Remembering is like an ancestral knowing. It's just a feeling that you know that you know that you know who you are. And I think that's what a lot of people are seeing now in this year 2025, with Black people delineating, with a lot of Black people remembering that their grandma used to call them Indian, Cherokee, Blackfoot, whatever. I think that the remembering will be one of the ways that Black Americans no longer support white supremacy and the tenets of white supremacy, one of which is the worship of the written word, and the fact that we don't need facts and stats and documentation to tell us who we are. When you know who you are, you know who you are. And I don't care what anyone says. I remember. And I think that waking up is not learning from books. I think when you wake up, you remember. You just remember you were asleep. And I think that's what they're trying to stop. And I think that Black Americans are doing that now. And no matter what people say, that is what we're going to continue to do. And I know that, you know, we're going to get laughed at, we're going to get all these things, but I think remembering is the final phase, is the final step. And I see my people doing it now, and it makes me excited.
Y'all, there is a lot of awakenings happening right now in the U.S., and one of them is Black Americans starting to really see that we have been in this country way before slavery. It is getting to a point now where I have seen multiple videos on TikTok of Black Americans going toe for toe with Africans, and I've seen a lot of disrespect coming from the Africans, yo. A lot. And I know it's not all of y'all. I know that. But I want to bring this to a lot of people's attention that in the 70s was a big moment. Something that came that made all Black Americans think we were connected to Africa. And that was the movie Roots. Yep. Remember Kunta Kinte? Yes. Yes. See, the writer of that, well, series, right, was Alex Haley. Alex Haley was then sued by another white author and lost. He got sued for plagiarizing someone else's work and book by the name of Harold Colander. He lost and had to pay $600,000, y'all, in 1978. That was a lot of money. He also lied and said that Kunta Kinte was his direct lineage. And researchers came and found out that was also false. It was also brought up that the whole Roots miniseries was fictional and made up. After he had been tricked all these Black Americans into thinking we were connected to Africa. Another movie they tried to do that with was Black Panther. Right before the first Black Panther dropped, they were marketing Ancestry.com and 23andMe. They were marketing that stuff heavy, trying to show Black people that we were somehow tied to Africa.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and a Vintage Tech Stories, and there's something that I want to talk about. Just before that, as usually, I do give gratitude to God for the gift of life because I appreciate everything. I woke up in the morning so healthy. I can see the sun through my window. I can breathe the fresh air, and I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful for the gift of life. And I think we all should be grateful for the gift of life because, you know, sometimes we take all these things for granted, but they mean a lot to us. So back to today's topic. Brothers and sisters, my fellow Black people who are watching this video, this is something that has been going on. And I think as time goes by, it keeps on getting better. And there is an awakening. There is an awakening that people are starting to see from Black Americans. And they're understanding this awakening very well. This is something that people never thought that will come to happen. But let me tell you, Black Americans are sending shockwaves to the world. Because in as much as people try to do something about it, there is always a way Black Americans will always counter. And this is making people question themselves, like, who are really Black people? And this is making people to get so much interested in learning the Black history. The population of people who are interested in really knowing Black Americans is increasing across the world because they keep on impressing, they keep on improving. And I'm not saying like in forms of entertainment or anything. Like, look, there are those things that are happening. This includes geopolitically. And people are asking themselves, where is the place of Black people in this? And just looking at what is happening to the United States today really shows you everything. Black people are not entertaining those same folks that they used to entertain. If you don't do things according to the book or according to how Black people want or according to how you people agreed, you see them leave the table. They don't take disrespect. They leave the table. They don't create chaos. They are not as people used to see them before. So we are seeing an awakening that is happening from Black Americans. And the awakening is being hated by their ancestors because their ancestors don't want Black people to repeat the same mistakes that they made. And so Black Americans are moving differently. Brothers and sisters, I want to let you to watch this video because majority of the things that are being discussed here are contemporary things that affect Black people. But you are going to see how this awakening is helping them and sending shockwaves to the entire world. So brothers and sisters, watch the video. I'll be back. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to what I can offer you. But until then, let's watch the video. I'll be back.
And if they say in science that all of the continents were together at one point, that means all of us will be connected to Africa. White, Black, Asian, everybody. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm liking the awakening I'm seeing right now. This definitely ties into some of my content that I do on political history. And y'all know I've been dropping some videos about Black slave owners. And guess what? A few of those very first Black slave owners were not born in the United States. They were brought over here from Africa to be indentured servants. And they turned into slave owners. We're going to jump into that, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Talk to y'all later.
I be having to remind my little brother that he's Black. Not that he forget he Black, because he definitely like a Black boy. But I remember what it felt like before I fully grasped what it meant to be Black in America. Because I remember when I was in middle school, I went to the mall like I always do. Mind you, this mall always getting hit up with robberies and shit. And as soon as I walk in the mall, these police officers question me and ask me, where am I going? I tell them I don't know. Mind you, I'm like 11 or 12. Because I don't know, I just got into the mall. They thought I was getting smart, and I wasn't. And they said, what store are you going to? I don't know. I just got here. Mind you, I see some white teens walk clean past us, and I'm looking at them, and I was like, well, what about them? They said, worry about yourself. So I'm double confused. And I got my younger siblings with me. They think I'm getting smart. They asked me, do I want to go in cuffs? He already put out the cuffs, holding them up, trying to throw me, do I want to go in cuffs for getting smart, having an attitude. I'm so confused, because I'm like, what the fuck? I just got here. But luckily, by the grace, they got a call and they had to run off because, like I said, it was a robbery that had just fucking happened in the mall. That same fucking store, by the way. After that shit happened, bro, I just turned around and called my grandmother and told her to come pick us back up. That was the first time I ever had like a racial profiling happen like that. Because I'm like, what the fuck was that even about? And then I shit y'all not, that same month, Trayvon Martin was killed. And that completely awakened me to being Black in motherfucking America. And everybody else who was my age and my school, I remember it was a whole thing where, and we were middle schoolers, the whole school decided to wear black in support of Trayvon Martin. I remember that shit like it was yesterday when Trayvon got killed. We couldn't believe that it was a debate going on about what he did. what the fuck? We're like, he didn't do anything. Why is Zimmerman getting off? Why is Zimmerman not in cuffs? Why is Zimmerman like, we're confused at, bro. And I think it's a lot of other people in my generation too, who 98 babies. I don't know about anybody else, but 98 babies. We remember that like it was yesterday. A lot of us, that was our first time really being awakened to what it is for us. I never knew, none of us never knew it was like that. Mind you, some of us probably did have the talk and shit like that, but we didn't fully grasp it until that situation happened. And I thought about the mall situation, was like, I got racially profiled. What the fuck? And I literally wasn't even all the way in the fucking mall, and they came up to me, questioning me, and then trying to cuff me. And my siblings are younger than me, right? They were about to cry and shit, because they thought I was gonna go to jail. You know, younger siblings are dramatic, but whatever. They was about to start crying, thinking I'm about to get arrested. Me, I'm genuinely confused, and I don't back down for shit. I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. The fuck you mean you finna put me in cuffs for attitude? And in my head, I'm thinking they can put me in cuffs for attitude. I don't know the fucking law. I'm literally a late middle schooler. But I'm just thinking like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I always had that mindset of, if I'm not doing anything wrong. But quickly, I got, what's the term? It's not awakened. It's not hip. I'm gonna just say hip. I got hip to the fact that it doesn't matter if I'm not doing anything wrong. They would still target you and still treat you like complete, utter shit. No matter how young you are, they don't care. Like, and that's a lot of shit that Caucasians will never ever go through in their entire life. And honestly, I won't say I hate y'all for it, but I severely don't like y'all for it. That y'all would never know what that feel like. And y'all would never know what that feel like, and y'all still bitch and moan. That's what really gets me. Y'all don't know what true suffering is. Y'all don't even know what it slightly is in this fucking country. And y'all still bitch and moan about everything. About how stuff is not fair. Like, I don't even want to get into detail about all the shit that y'all think is not fair. And if y'all want something changed in America, it does get changed. Like, this whole dog situation, where they allowing dogs everywhere, it's because of white people. Because y'all don't want to go nowhere about your fucking shitwater ass animals. Damn. You don't need your dog at the grocery store. And if you do, I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't be going to the grocery store. Fucking Uber Eats I don't know. Do something. But a pet in a grocery store is just fucking crazy. Pets are allowed every fucking where now. Because of white people. Literally, when they want some shit changed, shit get changed every single time. Even the whole, gender restroom things. Not that I have a problem with that. I'm no shape, form, way saying I have a problem with that. I'm saying that shit didn't really get changed until the white gays start applying pressure on it, saying like, oh, I want to be able to, and shit got changed. I can't even remember what that fucking white dude TV show is who got canceled. Him. They wanted that funky ass TV show back, and it came back within, was it a couple days? Was it a week? It was less than a month. I think it was a week. I think it was less than a week. His show came back on.
You know exactly who this is.
Y'all can't even boycott things that would help humanity, and y'all boycotted for a TV show and got it back. Like, there's so much privilege y'all have that y'all just and y'all just bitch and moan. I've never seen I'm sick. I've never seen a group of people have so much fucking privilege and be seen as the pinnacle of human beings and still bitch and moan as if they're the lowest tier. It honestly does angers me. So that's not the only reason why I don't like y'all. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably could make a long ass video on why I don't like y'all, but I'm just not gonna do that. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, I have to remind my brother certain things he can and cannot do, because I remember being that age and nobody really told me. We were raised by our grandparents. Our grandparents really didn't, they did a great job raising us, but they didn't really tell us, like, break it down, like, you know, you can't be because you're black. They never really taught us any of that. So yeah, I try to remind him as much as I can until it clicks in his head. And I'm hoping nothing has to happen like it did for me for it to click in his head, because nobody told me. So that's why I make it my mission to tell him, or tell either of my other siblings, like, you know, you have to be a little bit more mindful than your peers, especially one of my siblings. She has so many white friends. Oh my God. I'm like, just remain mindful, I know you hang around them a lot, but I need you to be mindful of what you're doing. You cannot do the same things they're doing. You can't do nearly the same crazy ass things they're doing. They will get off. You will not. Do not find yourself in a fucked up predicament with these damn people, and they will throw you under the bus. So, and she's only like that because she's with her dad right now, and he got her in a white area, so she just around hella white people. That's why. But whatever. Yeah.
Why do you think they're covering the sun? We about to activate. We've already activated, and I love this comment so much. I wish I could pin it. We've already activated. Look what's going on. Look at what's going on. Think about how blatantly racist everyone is on the internet right now. Do you know why? It's because we're not complicit. We don't put our heads down anymore. I've been seeing so many videos of us literally physically fighting back when we've been confronted with violence. This is a new timeline. It's only been literally like maybe 60 years, 65 years since the civil rights movement. White people used to beat like they used to whip our ass. They used to hang us from trees like strange fruit. They were still eating us in the 60s. We don't talk about this. Literally, we experienced the most heinous things after the so-called slavery was abolished in the 1900s in this country. They stole our lands. They flooded us out. They burned and bombed everything. But now we're waking up. Even though they try to co-opt woke, they fucking steal and colonize everything we come up with. But we're all waking up and we're collectively getting on one band, one sound, and everybody's losing their shit. That's why they're coming out the woodworks, like saying, oh, and of course, the president makes them feel like they don't have to hide anymore. But the fact that we have a voice to say something back, this is why I can't do it on here. But on my YouTube channel, I say the most vile stuff to these people. When they talk to me crazy, I go for the jugular because we are activated. And I feel like right now we're kind of like in phase 1 of finding a voice, identifying ourselves as who we are. We're not centering any other ethnicities. We're not centering anyone else. And that's why other people losing their shit over that, because they're so used to being centered. We've never centered ourselves as Black Americans. We've always been super inclusive while being disrespected, disregarded, abused. We're like the kid that was constantly bullied, and now we're fighting back because we have been activated. And it is so fucking beautiful to see. What a time to be alive. I am extremely grateful to be alive to witness this. We are all living our ancestors' wildest dreams. To have autonomy, all of the things that they fought for, all of the things that they withstood, all of the strife, a lot of them did not survive. We are the ones that survived. It just makes me feel I feel like I want to cry. Like, words can't describe. Like, we are the ones that survived. Do you know how fucking powerful that is? And this is phase 1. And I'm saying this is phase 1 because we're starting to have the conversations. We're starting to fucking put our foot down. We're starting to embrace who we are fully. This is some new ass shit. This is some new age ass shit, and everybody's losing their fucking minds. I am so proud. I truly am. Phase 2, I know I have an idea of what phase 2 is going to be, but I'm not about to say it on here. But we're going to start to gather in the physical and start working on phase 2. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. We're activated. I'm so happy.
This is Babylon, ancient Egypt, Rome, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Nineveh multiplied by 1,000, all existing in one geographical location. It's a 2,000 by 3,000 square mile hell. That's what America is. America is Satan's headquarters. This is where the evil is rooted at and where it's spread all over the world. So, you know, we gotta come out. We hostages right now. We got to come on out of this thing. As the scripture says, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. So as long as we stay among them and we participate and do the evil that they are tempting us to do, we're going to get the judgment that they're going to receive. That's why the minister is who he is. He's God's man raised to try to warn us and say, look, come on out of her, my people. We so messed up, though, that as Pharaoh yesterday with Moses went to Pharaoh and said, Pharaoh, let my people go. We're so messed up that the minister has to come to black people and say, look, my people, let Pharaoh go. He don't even have us no more. We got him. We got a bad Stockholm syndrome or battered woman syndrome. We got plantation psychosis.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
Yes, sir.
So I've been pretty open about the fact that I was a flaming liberal just a few years ago. Many people have asked me, how did I go from being such a devout liberal to speaking with such conviction about being a part of the Republican Party now? And I realized that a black Republican feels very much like an oxymoron. And a big part of it was I researched history. And I want to give you guys a quick history lesson of literally the history that made me a Republican. And I'm going to make it short and sweet so that it's not boring, but it's important and it's something that is easy to share with your friends when you're having conversations about this. So I wrote down notes so that I could make it clear. Before the 1930s, Black America had no choice but to rely on ourselves, right? We thrived. We had schools, banks, businesses, our families were strong, our churches were strong, communities like Black Wall Street were real and vibrant, literally a dream come true, right, for the Black community. But then the Great Depression comes and Roosevelt rolls out the New Deal and says, don't worry, the government will help you. The government will take care of you. Those are not ever good words, by the way. This is when it happened, and this is a huge turning point and not a good one for the Black community. It's when the shackles that our ancestors fought so hard to get taken off were quietly slipped back on, but in the name of dependency, right? So here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. The parties didn't switch. The parties didn't switch. We did, right? The Republican Party was the party that ended slavery, that passed literally every major civil rights bill. They didn't suddenly become the enemy. We walked away. We switched our votes and our loyalty to the party that promised us handouts, right? By the 1960s, the Great Society blew the welfare state wide open. And all of those programs, you guys, they punished marriage. They rewarded dependency. They literally paid you more if there was no man in your house, right? That's not good. And Charlie Kirk talked about that a lot. So many Black women decided to make the most logical choice and marry the government. They replaced husbands with a monthly check. The system knew exactly what it was doing. And the result was, back in 1960, when my mother was born, only 22% of Black kids were born to single mothers. And today, it's over 65% born to single mothers. Generational wealth is flat. Business ownership has not really grown. And despite trillions spent on fighting poverty, poverty is still where it was. We hand that party, the Democrat Party, 90% of our vote. And what do we get? They didn't earn it. They never earned it. And they just say, if you don't vote for us, you ain't Black. Because look at what we've done for you. Look at everything we've done for you. Instead of fighting back, we say, we'll do. You guys, we traded Booker T. Washington for food stamps. We traded Black Wall Street for Section 8. We stopped measuring success by what we build as a community and started measuring it by what we're given. That's not progress. That is dependency until we face the truth, which is that the New Deal wasn't a rescue. It was a reset. We'll keep wearing the shackles that we swore that we would never wear again. So
y'all know what I'm so happy about right now. Just looking down TikTok, looking all around TikTok, and I see that Black America has finally awakened to the fact that the Democrat Party, let me say it this way, that Black America has reawakened to the fact that the Democratic Party is essentially the plantation. Our pigmentation no longer is determining that Black vote. And it's so good to see younger generations catching on to this.
on their own. I'm so glad to see people educating themselves before they go to vote, and they're looking back at things historically. Man, this is so amazing to me. And just so we're clear here, y'all see that sign in that yard? I ain't never had no Kamala sign. She don't represent me. I'm not with her.
Okay, this is a random thought while I'm deep conditioning my hair, but I really can't stand when people say not to be the too woke friend, because, like, don't let white people redefine reality. Woke means to be aware of other people's suffering. That's what it means. Don't let white people change reality. Same thing with black fatigue. Like, I didn't know, you know what's so horrible? I didn't know that black fatigue meant black people's exhaustion dealing with systemic racism and white supremacy on a day-to-day basis. That's what black fatigue meant. That's a term that was coined by a black woman in the 90s. And there's a book about it that I'm reading right now. It's really good. But the first time I heard it was not in the correct definition of it. The first time I heard it was when a bunch of white people online were trying to redefine reality once frickin' again and say black fatigue anytime a black person was very validly talking about their racial trauma and experiences with white supremacy in the world. So to hear them tell it, black fatigue is just being sick of black people wanting to be treated like humans and talking about it. Or just black people existing, period. But black fatigue actually means, in reality, it is black people's exhaustion living in a white supremacist society. So if we could just stop saying not to be too woke, because again, being woke is not, why would you not want to be aware? Why would you want to be too aware of other people's suffering? That's weird. And then also, can we please stop, like, oh my God, can we please stop validating people thinking that black fatigue means being sick of black people? It does not mean that. I do not want to keep seeing people allowing white people to redefine reality. Black fatigue is black people being tired of white supremacy. Being woke is caring and having empathy for others.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching this video from. Now brothers and sisters, it is so much imperative to understand that black Americans are not moving the way they used to move. They are moving differently. They are moving strategically. And trust me, this is working for them like 101%. And it has proven that it is working for them. And they have made it clear also to the other people outside the world to understand the place of black Americans. For example, look at how Iranians perceive black Americans, and even throughout the history. Because that's the most recent case when you try to look at what is happening in the world today and in relation to black people. Now you understand that these people really resonate so much with black people. And the world is now starting to appreciate the roles that black Americans have played, not even inside the United States and also outside the United States. Remember, through the fights that the United States have been keeping, has acted as a motivation to other countries to also fight for their justice. See, people like Malcolm X, who fought for the civil rights movement, they have showed the world pathways in how to fight for their freedom. I mean, look at Malcolm X. Did you know that Malcolm X really motivated majority of African countries to fight for their freedom? Yes, because during that time, when Africans were going through colonization in the United States, black Americans or African Americans were going through slavery and Jim Crow. And so the rise of people like Malcolm X really acted as a motivation. People like Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, they were really influenced by black leaders, by black activists who fought for freedom, such that they were able to fight the Germans. They were able to send the Germans away, right? And so you understand, this might not be starting right now, but historically, when you get to look at how all these things unraveled or how all these things happened, it really proves to you what I'm trying to tell you. And so the awakening, even geopolitically, musically, you are seeing black Americans taking places and black people taking places, right? Because understand, black people used to be so vocal on the things that are happening, like geopolitically. But somehow, not in a bad way, but black people decided that we are not giving you our voices. We are not giving you our energy. And now, what happened after that? The world noticed that there is something missing. Because when black people refused that we are not going to protest for nobody, that didn't stand for us, what happened? They started realizing that there was something important that they were taking for granted. And so when they learned that there was something important that they were taking for granted, they started like feeling a gap. They started feeling that there is something more missing. Another thing, that was this time when white folks decided that they are going to be having like their whites only community. I don't think it went so much long, because the fact that they started just separating themselves from black people, or we can call it segregating themselves from black people, you saw what happened. Some of them, even their social lives just started changing, and people came out online, started saying how they miss black people, how their lives used to be when they had black people around. And some people that had businesses in the black community started seeing their businesses declining. Why? Because there's something about black people. There's something about black people when you talk about support. There's something about black people when you talk about commitment to something that you all agreed to. Black people commit. Black people are consistent. And this is what is missing from these other groups. So when they separate, they start to learn that, oh, indeed, there's something that is missing. And that's the missing part that I'm talking about. So when you understand how all these things come into play, when you understand how all these things happen, it now starting to make sense to you that the entire things that black Americans who are losing their energy to people, they have decided that, you know what, we aren't going to do this. And indeed, the statement that they made has really sent shockwaves to the entire world. And the world is recognizing the place of black Americans, how special, how talented, how gifted, how chosen they are. And so when they make all these moves, people understand that there is a shift in energy. Maybe not physically, but it's even more spiritually. Understand what I'm saying? So it's even more spiritually than it is physically. So when you see all these things happen, it really does make sense that black Americans are sending shockwaves to the world. And they're making it make sense to everyone. And this has been one of the best moves that black people have ever made. And it has even helped with the black pride. At least that distortion of black name is being regained. It is not the same as it used to be, like, oh, black culture. I think when we now look at black culture, we don't look it in that sense. The way people used to see. People starting to see something beautiful about black people and black culture. And I think it's now making sense. It's now coming down to the reality. So brothers and sisters, I don't want to say much, but I think all from what we've heard from the video and the little that I've said, I hope it gives you a perspective. It makes you understand you as a black person who probably is still thinking less of himself. It is time to own up your name. It is time to know that you come from the royalty. It is time to know that you come from the tribe of kings and queens and receive and take back your royalty. So brothers and sisters, I'm hoping to see you in my next video. So please let me know what you think about this video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute. Salute.